So if you're enjoying, appreciating, benefiting from this series of short talks by Padmavajra on the life and liberation of Padmasambhava, him channeling these lightning flashes from the blue beyond, then please do consider making a donation to Padmaloka. We're still in uncertain financial times. This year we lost our main source of income, our retreat income, and even though people are starting to return to Padmaloka now, our costs have considerably gone up, given the various measures that we have to put in place. So although we've benefited enormously from people's generosity throughout the year, we really need to keep that stream of generosity flowing. So do please consider giving what you can. You can do that by following the link that's attached to this video or beneath in our YouTube channel, or visiting our website and making a one-off donation or taking out a monthly standing order. Thank you.
Oh, now, when the bardo of the reality upon me is dawning, abandoning all awe, fear and terror of all phenomena, may I recognize whatever appears as being my own thought forms. May I know them to be apparitions in the intermediate state. It has been said, there arrives a time when the chief turning point is reached. Fear not the bands of the peaceful and wrathful, who are your own thought forms. So after the bardo of the moment of death, if we haven't transfused ourselves into the heavenly space of the unborn, if we haven't ejected our consciousness into reality itself, there then dawns the bardo of reality, the bardo of dharmata, the bardo of reality itself, where everything arises as a display of deities. First, you have the showing of the peaceful Buddha forms, the five mandalas of the five Buddha forms with all their retinues, and you also get lights pouring down onto you. You also get the appearance of the Vidyadharas, which are the semi-wrathful deities and their entourages, and then you get the appearance of the five Herikas, the five wrathful Buddha forms and their entourages. And at a certain point you just get this incredible explosion of so many different forms exploding all around you, and there's a tremendous noise, the roar of, louder than 1,000 thunderclaps, blinding light, all of it, the display of reality, of enlightenment itself. But you're also getting dull lights calling out to you to be reborn in one of the 6 realms. In the Bardo Tadol itself, the actual text, the Lama who's speaking to you after you've died is always telling you to move toward the light of the Buddhas, to ignore the soft beguiling lights of the 6 realms, but to move to the heart of reality itself. But it's overwhelming, it's terrifying. The lights of the Buddhas, the peaceful Buddhas, are blinding, absolutely blinding, searing as they come to your heart. Abandoning all awe, fear and terror of all phenomena. We find it all so frightening, so overwhelming, but if we could just take hold of what's called the light ray hook that's emanating from the heart of each of the Buddhas, take hold of that light, go for refuge, it says, to that light, and follow that light path, will be reborn in the heart of that Buddha, in their Pure Land. But it's terrifying. So we have the instruction, may I recognize whatever appears as being my own thought forms, may I know them to be apparitions in the intermediate state. This isn't quite correct. It's a good translation, but thought forms is too weak. It's more like, may I see all this as expressions, creative expressions of the pure, primordial, non-dual awareness itself. which is, of course, which you are a part of. May I see it all as that. And may I unite with all that. May I not see it as something external to me, oppressing me, but may I see all of this as just the play, the magnificent, wonderful play and expression of reality reaching out to me, reaching out to my unenlightened consciousness, reaching out with compassion, wanting me to move into its heart. May I know all this to be just the play of this intermediate state, the dharmata, the space between dying and being reborn. And then there's a quote from the liberation through hearing itself. There arrives a time when the chief turning point is reached. Fear not the bands of the peaceful and wrathful, who are your own thought forms. This is the instruction. Recognize everything as the play of awareness. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Whatever arises, it is just mind. It is just awareness. Actually, it's benign. There's even a moment during all this where there is what's called the judgment of Yama, the judgment of the Lord of the dead. Yamaraja, the king of the dead. You're judged. You go to Yamaraja, and Yamaraja has scales up, or his minions have scales, and your skillful actions, your unskillful actions are being weighed. Very, very frightening moment. Your whole future is in the balance. And even here they say, there's a wonderful teaching. If you can see that Yamaraja, the Lord of the dead himself, death itself, if you can see him as simply the expression of awareness, it's simply the expression of primordial awareness itself, immediately he turns into Mahakarunika, the greatly compassionate one, Avalokiteshvara himself, and you are liberated into great compassion. This is a very, very profound realization. Death, the nature of death itself, is really the nature of the great compassionate one. This needs to be profoundly meditated upon. There arrives a time when the chief turning point is reached. Fear not the bands of the peaceful and wrathful, who are the expressions of pure awareness itself.